Hey everybody. Hey, I took the day off today because yesterday I got a message when I was coming back off the mountain that my dog Maverick, my old man, passed away, and ended up having to bury him after he'd been sitting out in the sun all day. Um, yeah, it kind of messed up with my head a little bit, so I knew I needed to take the day off because timber falling is a very focused profession, and I knew I wouldn't be able to focus. So sometimes you gotta know when to call uncle or cry uncle, or know when it's best for you to just take a moment and breathe. It's kind of like losing a member of the family. Old Maverick, he was a good dog that we'd rescued from a very bad situation. We gave him a very happy the last 7, 8 years of his life. Gave him a very carefree and happy life. But anyway, while I was off today, I was listening to a YouTube video. I think the guy calls himself Novice Lumberjack, East Coast Cutter, and he was claiming that chisel grind, square grind, didn't hold up with the East Coast trees because his oaks and maples out there were really hard, and his loblolly pine was really soft, and he could whip right through that with his round file. Uh, and that square grind was gets dull fast. And then he went on to rag about West Coast fallers have it easier because pea pine and Doug fir and cedar and stuff out here is a lot softer than the stuff that he's cutting out there. And the hubris in his attitude. Okay, I'm not claiming or ever will claim to be the best of the best. I'm pretty good at what I do, but by no means am I the best. There are a lot of guys who could outcut me, and there are a lot of guys who can outgrind me on their chain. But I do a pretty good job. But to listen to this guy swinging his dick and ragging on Pacific Northwest coast fallers just got under my skin a little bit. So I apologize. I don't tend to do this because I think we should all learn something from these YouTube videos and everybody's sharing. But this guy crossed the line. First of all, we do have oaks out here, Mr. West Coast guy, or East Coast guy, excuse me. Uh, every Pacific Northwest faller has cut everything under the sun: oaks, tan oaks, maples, eucalyptus, uh, yew wood, which is really hard. You know, Doug fir and white fir and pine, when they've been in a forest fire, they are baked hard, and that sap crystallizes. It's like cutting through glass. And I'm sorry, your round filing would never hold up. We do square chisel grind, and a lot of guys still hand file. My eyesight is not so much good that I can hand file, so I don't bother hand filing in the woods. I bring enough chain to carry myself through, and 90% of the time, I only go through one chain a day. And it's pretty sharp at the end of the day, but I grind it for the next day because that's what you do. You get ready for the next day. You get your stuff, you get your shit squared away. But wow, this East Coast guy, Mr. Novice Lumberjack, I'm gonna say this directly to you. You have no idea what you're talking about, and if you're still hand filing round file, you have no clue the precision it takes to square grind a chain that'll cut through pretty much everything and not dull. Dust and dirt on your tree dulls your chain. I have never had my chain dull in the wood, um, ever. The only time I've had anything come close to dulling my chain, and I don't even understand it, is when I'm cutting redwood and those dry, twiggy branches, for some reason, can dull your chain. Now, I haven't figured that out, because the bigger branches, you rip right through them, but the little skinny, finger-sized branches that are dry and dead on the side of a redwood tree, they seem to figure out how to dull your chain. I don't know why. But as far as the regular wood goes, you know, you East Coast guys probably have never cut into a big ponderosa that's been standing for decades, and the grain is really tight. The tree is, 140, 160 feet tall, and is about 4.5 feet on the butt. And you got to put that sucker through a 4-foot slot 100 feet away. You probably wouldn't even know what you're doing. And if it's got any kind of heavy lean to it, everybody out here knows those big trees with that tight grain, they're going to want a barber chair, because the wood is so stringy that you got to cut them up flush. And if the tree's going to fall faster than you can cut through the back of it, you better have bored the heart out of it and reduce that center of the hinge wood. Otherwise, that thing's just going to explode. East Coast cutters have no clue. I was back on the East Coast, and the largest pine tree I saw back there, I mean, if it was 25 inches on the stump, that was a giant tree. The largest pine tree I've cut out here on the West Coast, personally, was over 8 feet. The largest cedar I've cut was over 14 feet. Tallest tree I've ever cut was, heck, I don't know. I got 6 40-foot logs out of it, and there's probably another 25 feet at the top. So, it was getting upwards towards 300 feet tall. So, whoever you are out there on the East Coast, you want to swing your dick and claim that West Coast fallers have it easy, your hubris is off the chart. I can say this for every PNW faller out here, ranging from Alaska to here in California, who's cut big wood, burnt wood, steep ground, helicopter ground, steep cat, even the flat ground cutters who've had the privilege of staying on the good stuff. They're all laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. They're all laughing at you. And you have no idea what you're talking about. So you know what? If you're going to swing your dick online, know what you're talking about. And, I apologize for my language, but it just kind of got under my skin. Especially with my dog dying, I'm a little sensitive right now, but, don't post that stuff online, None of us out here are better than the next guy. We are who we are. We do what we do. Our skills are what we perfect because our lives depend on it. Being a professional timber faller, every professional timber faller knows that you put your life on the line every 6 to 10 minutes of your day, whether it's falling or bucking. Most people don't understand that. Most people who see your saws on the back of your truck and call you a earth rapist and live in a stick house don't understand that we risk our lives so you can have a comfortable place to live, a nice house, nice furniture, wipe your butt with toilet paper instead of dried leaves, So that's my rag, my 2 cents for the day. Just chill out back there on the East Coast, Mr. Novice Lumberjack. I don't know who you are, but crying out loud, take a chill pill. All right, George Williams Sr. signing off. I got work to do.